Today, brothers and sisters, I would close tonight's proceedings by taking inspiration and comfort from one of the greatest poets and poems of all time, written by Rabindranath Tagore, and it's called Where the Mind is Without Fear. Of course, Tagore was one of the greatest poets that ever lived, and he was the first Indian, the first non white to be awarded the Nobel Prize, the most prestigious prize in literature and in human activities, and he got it in literature in 1913. When the British gave him Sir, that he was a knighthood, Sir Rabindranath Tagore, he gave it back and rejected it in 1915, I'm sorry, 1919, because the British killed 400 of his people in cold blood, shot them at Amritsar, and in protest and condemnation of that act, Rabindranath Tagore gave up his knighthood. So he remains a person of courage, conviction, and fortitude. And here is his poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear. I remember reciting this poem when I was 15 at Bishop's High School. I had just left Queen's College, and there was an elocution competition there, and I won it with this poem. I don't know if I can recite it with the same zest that I did when I was 15 years old, but it has always lived on in me and inspired me in my life about how great Rabindranath Tagore was and how wonderful his message is that can take you any place to overcome darkness. It is a light over darkness, and it gives you triumph over fear and despair. And it's called Where the Mind is Without Fear. And I will try to recite it. Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from a depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father. Let my country awake. Pranam. That is a poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore, one of the greatest poets of all time, and the first non white person to be awarded a Nobel Prize for Literature, and a man who lives on in the hearts of all those who love courage over despair, light over darkness, and triumph over defeat. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Shalom, and may God bless you all. Namaste.